What's up, guys? Drunken Turtle here, back with another video. So, Prydwen has released their 2.0 tier list, all right? I want to go over that today. I want to see what I agree with, what I don't agree with, and how much of my opinion changes after seeing this. I don't think it will, but hey, everyone's opinion's their own. If you don't agree with my opinion, that's fine too. I'm okay with that. It's not going to make me lose any sleep. So without further ado, we're going to take a look at the Memory Chaos tier list. All right. So just in case you guys don't know the positions and anything like that, damage dealer, characters that focus on dealing direct damage and can perform their role unhindered by enemy type, enemy element, or team composition. All right, we're going to start with this one. So they have Jingliu as S plus. All right, looks like based across the board, there's only one S plus unit, probably signifying that they are the top of the top. All right, that is the best character you're going to get for that category. This I agree with. All right. Now, some people might argue that Imbibe de Lune should be there instead of Jingliu. Uh, I think both of them are amazing units. Okay. Here's the problem with it though. Jingliu is a lot easier to run. Okay. She can set off her awakened state pretty simply by doing two skills, either that or a skill in the ultimate, but you wouldn't want to do that. Where in Bible Lune, you need to build a team around for him. All right, he consumes so many skill points every time he attacks that you're gonna run out. You're gonna run out unless you just specifically build a team comp for him, and that makes him a little more difficult to build. His damage output can be dependent on whether or not you're going to use 3 skill points for his attack to get his highest enhanced basic attack, or if you're just going to use the 2. So Jingliu for sure. All right, S plus. Doctor Ratio in Bible Lune, we got QQ and Sela. QQ I haven't built. Okay, not gonna lie, have not built her. I do like how they put the E6 there, signifying that she's only in that tier with E6. From what I understand, her kit is a lot of a gambling kit. All right, it could work, it could not work. I have no real comment on her though, just because again, I didn't build her. Where Dr. Ratio, for sure. Yep, Dr. Ratio's follow-up attacks are crazy. All right, the amount of damage this man can produce is nuts. And Vibe de Lune already said my piece about him and Sela. Even though she's fallen off, if you have a situation where you're getting her, oh man, I cannot remember the uh, her proc, right, where it allows her to keep attacking. She's still popping off, right? It's still a lot of damage going off that. I do not have Argenti, all right, so I'm not going to comment on him today. Blade. Blade is an amazing unit, all right? This is one I own. I love Blade. Apart from his damage, which, he does everything. He has an enhanced basic attack that you only have to worry about once every 4 turns. His follow-up, his ultimate, which can be based off how much health you lose. Well, it does. It is based off how much health you lose, I should say. Um, he's a great all-around unit, in my opinion. Very balanced and just very good for any team comp. Clara, I do not have. I do understand how she works. Just being able to get attacked and then hit back. Great, just great mechanic. Somebody I could see that you wouldn't really need to build that much speed with her. You know what I mean? You just build her on attack power if you really wanted to and just let them swing at you. Why not? And then this one, I'm a little. I can see him being an A unit, but I don't know if they organize this based off, high to low when it comes to the lower tiers with multiple characters in it. If they did, I definitely understand this. Jing Yuan, he's good if you can keep him um, not stunned, right? Not CC'd at all, and allows his follow-up attack to hit. Amazing unit. The moment he's CC'd and that follow-up attack is coming through, though, right into the trash, man. Right? He's not dealing enough damage. That's those 10 hits are crucial for his damage output. And if he's not getting it, not worthwhile. I'd consider him maybe high B tier, low A tier, right? Um, Herda in Memory Chaos, yeah, I can understand that. I can definitely understand Herda in Memory Chaos. I know they do have a category for pure fiction. If I clicked on that, I'm sure she would be an S tier because Herda is nasty. Same thing with Himiko. Though I feel like Himiko is a lot more useful in Memory Chaos if you have a follow-up team. Um, but yeah, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. You see the pure fiction right there. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, so they're S plus tiers, they're S tiers. Um, Shows how much I'm paying attention to that. But definitely Memory Chaos, yeah, they're a little bit lower. I'd put her honestly probably right below him easily. Serval, God, I haven't used her since probably the first month of the game. Um, yeah, she's good. Yeah, B tier, that seems about right. You know, she's still a good unit if you're just starting off and you don't have much of a roster of characters. Um, I'd almost say that she's more reliable than him, right? Jing Yuan. But you know, it depends. Again, E6, definitely. E0, no. Ooh, C and D tiers. Yep, right. Yep. Oh God, Yang Jing. Jesus Christ. Yep. Yeah. That's. I agree with that though, man. I don't have him. I don't want to have him. All right. I've seen enough gameplay on him. I do not want. For a guy who loses all his buffs the moment he gets touched. Nah, I'm good. Same thing with Physical Trailblazer. Played him enough. I was like, God, I never want to have to touch him again if I can help it. Arlon I have. I never messed with him though. But again, it's is it Arlen the one that has the buff? You see, I don't even remember. I hear so much trash about these two guys that yeah, I can see it. Hook I have, never built her, and Don Hang. I used him for a little bit. I didn't really care for him. He was my only really good win unit until I built Sampo. So, but yeah, no, I don't see anyone play the game longer than maybe a month or two using these guys, unless they specifically need the elemental advantage. All right, specialist. All right, specialist for this category is going to be characters that excel under specific circumstances, carrying a unique role that often requires a different and divergent playstyle. For example, breakers can deal monstrous burst damage or crippling crowd control, and synergists introduce entirely new archetypes. So, in case you didn't understand, right, Kafka introduced um, being the big support for damage over time teams, where Topaz and Numby helped enable follow-up attacks a little more. Looking at this, I would agree Kafka would be the best choice if you had to pick one. But when it came to Kafka and Black Swan, it's neck and neck, right? This is literally one or the other. Both enable DOTs a lot more. They both, if you can pick them both, definitely do. Combined, you add them up, they equal out an amazing combination of synergy, and that alone is your damage in the team. Separate, I probably would go with Kafka over Black Swan, even though Black Swan has the debuff. I feel like Kafka's follow-up attacks, along with her being able to apply Lightning DOT and trigger it, is a little more reliable damage for sure. So, but they're neck and neck either way. You know what I mean? It's if you got one or the other, use them. If you got both, keep them together. Okay. Topaz and Numby, definitely. Right, your follow-up attackers, you're gonna want to have her and them on there. You know, Dr. Ratio, Topaz and Numby. If you're gonna use Himiko, Topaz and Numby to just increase that damage output. She alone can deal decent damage. You know, it's just when it comes to her alone, more sub DPS than main DPS, but this isn't that kind of type of category. This is specialist. So she kind of defines the role of that. It's funny that they put a lot of the DOTs in here, which is true. You know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna put them, you're gonna put them kind of together. Luca, Sampo, definitely. Um, You know, if you're gonna run DOT, you're gonna run multiple DOTs. I have her, Zwei. I never built her. Um, but based off her kit, yeah, you know what I mean? Just being able to ignore that elemental resistance and just deal break damage, or I forgot what the actual full term is, but yeah, being able to lower that break bar on the enemy and being able to just push right through it, definitely really good. I can definitely see her being useful in Memory Chaos if you don't have, especially if you don't have like other quantum units, you know what I mean? Like, even if you do, just having her on the team might give you that extra damage that you need to beat that Memory Chaos, even if it's not 3 stars. Gwen, I feel like she should go up. I feel like she should go up. She has the DOT, right, which is amazing, but she also has Fire Kiss. And especially E6, where you can add another stack of Fire Kiss. Nah, definitely, I would definitely put her up one. I definitely feel like she would at least be in between Luca and Sample, if not Zwei and Sample. Right? I feel like she's a lot more useful than people think, and just being able to give that Fire Kiss with the burn that she can give, that's 2 debuffs right there. Okay, that can enable a lot of things. Doctor Ratio, you know, different light cones. It's crazy how much it can actually do. Shu Shang, uh, yeah. You know what? She's definitely niche. I used to use her a lot more in the early patches, but I don't really touch her much anymore. I think I took all the relics off her too. She can still be decent. She can still be really good, especially if you're lacking that physical unit, which I am. But I don't really have Luca or her built. But I don't really. I play around physical now. Welt at E0. I feel like Welt should still go in A. I feel like he should still be in A. If you can build Welt with break effect, right, and you're just consistently slowing the enemy down, that can do so much, especially if you have like Ruan May with you. Oh my God. You know, well, it's only negative, I would say, is the fact that his skill, you can't choose the targets of it. It's just random. But if you can get past that, even if you're facing one opponent, you know what I mean? Like that, that would be helpful. Even with, remember Chaos, you're not only facing one opponent most of the time. You're facing like 2 or 3. Even still, man, if you're in an imaginary memory of chaos stage, I feel like he's good, especially if man, just being able to slow. If people don't understand how useful it is to just make sure your enemy does not take their turn. All right, that gives you more survivability. It gives you more damage output. That's a dual combination alone right there. You know, um, I wouldn't put him high in the A rank. I put him probably around Wei, but it's still up there. Um, Misha, I have. All right, I haven't used Misha. All right, I haven't heard anyone talk about Misha either, though. So I'm not really gonna give my input on this, especially since I don't even have them at E6 anyways. But I was hoping that Misha would be a little higher up, being the ice destruction unit, especially for people that didn't pick up Jing Liu. Fire Trailblazer. Yeah. I mean, I was using Fire Trailblazer and Memory Chaos back again when the game came out. We have better sustainers now. We definitely have a lot better sustainers. Um, it's niche, and I know a lot of people use them for break effect. I didn't as much, but I can understand. I didn't as much, but I still use them somewhat. But yeah, man, it's a shame that Trailblazer doesn't have anything as of right now for forms that are like higher tier. I would like to see if whenever they release the next Trailblaze form to at least be in B tier, something just a lot more useful. But you considering that both of these first came out when the game was released and we haven't gotten a new form yet, maybe the next one that comes out, the kit will be a little more up to date and more powerful. I'd like to see a little power creep on these forms. Amplifier. Characters that do not focus on dealing damage, but instead amplify the damage other teammates deal by granting allies buffs or debuffing enemies. Saying that out loud makes me think like, yeah, I guess not. Well, would still belong there. I feel like well would almost belong there, just unironically. Ruan May. Okay, ignore that. Ruan May. Yeah, no, she definitely belongs there. Bronya got dethroned, man. It's hard. I don't run Bronya as much anymore. And it's crazy to think about because I was running Bronya on almost any team comp I could. Just given that extra turn with the damage increase, man, it's crazy how good she was. How good she still is, being a standard banner unit. Definitely the one you want to pull if you're going for that 300. Or if they ever do a selector. But Ruan Main came in and she added a whole new play style, essentially, right? Amplifying the break capabilities of a lot of people, just being able to give you the skill point back, everything, man. And she's such a good character. She's very skill point efficient, which is a nice change from Bronya, who was just consuming them like there's no tomorrow. Um, being ice, being able to add delay to the enemy if they're broken already, and deal a little bit of damage with it. Yeah, you can't. It's hard to argue, man, that if there's any other better support characters, really. Um, Very versatile. You throw onto a team of whoever you want, right? Let's say you're doing fire, you want Himiko in there, you want to throw, I don't know, Asta or whatever. Throw Rowan May in there. That break effect's gonna go crazy, bro. Um, Bronya being an A, definitely S. I mean, definitely agree with. She fell down, but she fell down and she's still amazing, right? If you're doing hyper DPS, anything, man, it's just being able to just proc an extra turn is nuts. I still use it with Jing Liu. And when I decide to put Ruan Main on the team, she'll go back with Jing Liu. You know what I mean? Um, just get that easy awakening real quick. Bonkai, as some people call it. Silverwolf. So Silverwolf S tier, I can see it. I don't really use Silverwolf anymore. Um, Silverwolf is really good for like early teams, right? Early teams, people who don't have an account build up, or if you just need a lot of debuffs. I can definitely see Silverwolf being your go-to, but I'd put her lower than Tingyun for sure. Um, I would definitely put her lower than Tingyun. Just because Silver Wolf's usefulness relies on who you have in your account, and are they going to be needing debuffed? Pretty much, that's what it comes down to. Um, you can break them. You can do break effect Silver Wolf. I know some people try to do the crit damage one. I don't like that style. I like break effect. I don't look for her for damage. I look for her for uh, exactly what it is. Support, debuffing enemies, putting the weakness on. I want to delay their turns. I'll try to force a break with her, which is really good. But I won't. I wouldn't consider her like S tier. You know what I mean? If I did, it'd be very low S tier. I feel like there's better choices. But I guess again, it depends on the progress of your account. Tingyun, especially E6, belongs ahead of Silverwolf. All right, Tingyun's been a great. It's not only as a 4-star, right? You're looking at a 4-star character E6. Um, her amplification of your teammates, as well as giving energy back, is fucking amazing. Okay. I'll live and die on that hill, man. Just anything that brings back energy so reliably, and you can buff your teammates up too. It not even the best part about her, it's 3 turns. 3 turns. That means she's SP positive. All right. That means for 3 turns, I don't have to worry about her, and she can buff that damage too. No, not buff the damage, but she can make them deal lightning damage. If I remember the ability quite right, it's been a long time since I actually looked at her benefication ability, but Just being able to add more damage on top of that, keeping yourself SP positive, being able to get your teammates ults off faster, okay, and boost their attack, that's a combination that you can't miss. You know, Silverwolf, yeah, you can debuff enemies. Yeah, you might be able to add a weakness on if you're running your team comp correctly. All right, you gotta consider that too. But Ting Yun, perfect, perfect. It's simple, easy. It's still effective. Okay, can't go wrong. Asta. Um, I haven't used Asta in a long time. All right. Um, I think yeah, AT is pretty good for her. AT is good. You know, being able to do the speed boost is really nice. That damage boost with her little talent, pretty cool. Um, I don't use her as much as I wish I did, but it seems about right, you know, especially since speed nowadays too is so important, right? You're always going for that max speed, those break points. And you just can't get the right substats on your equipment for it. That's where she can come in handy. Her, Ruan Mei, you know what I mean? Just increasing that speed stat to that last little point that you needed to. Very useful. It takes your ultimate. That's the only thing I always had a problem with. It's like Ruan Mei does that naturally, right? Maybe not to the same degree, but naturally, just passive, just being on the field. Where you got to pop your ult. It only lasts for a few turns. Hanya, I haven't used that much. I have her. I built her a bit. Um, I didn't really care for her, right? It's not the skill point recovery that I wanted to. Didn't really use her moves that much. I can probably see why she's going to be really good in the A tier, but first-hand experience, not there. I disagree with this. Baylor should be S tier. Baylor should be S tier. 100%. 100%. Especially E6 Baylor. Boy, she gets her ultimate back so easily. Okay. Debuff the whole enemy team, right? That defense shred, amazing. Okay. Immaculate. You know how much extra damage I do on that per turn? 2 turns, I'm sorry. Because of that one thing. And by the time that 2 turns up, I have her ultimate back anyways. I'm debuffing enemies with a skill and lowering ice resistance. That's amazing. Debuffing enemies, it comes in so clutch. All right. Apart from those annoying revive ones, which nobody likes, I hate those. Right. But just debuffing your enemies, amazing. Freaking reducing ice resistance, awesome. Especially when you got Jing Li on the team, right? I always use them together. And I feel like that defense shred, it's gonna be timeless. Okay. Very rarely do you ever not want a defense shred on your team. All right, you don't want to do more damage, right? That's the point of the game, essentially. Unless you're running some crazy team strategy, I want a debuffer, right? I want either two supports or a debuffer and then whoever else. So, Pela, I feel like she should go up here. I think this right here, S tier, Bronya, Tingyun. God, I would almost say Pela then Silverwolf. Yeah, you know what? I'd say that. Pela, Tingyun, Pela, Silverwolf. Right. If you're just starting the game off, maybe have Silverwolf ahead of Pela. Okay. But even then, you know. Yukong, I have her. I haven't built her. I was going to, and then I did some research into her. She's good. Her buffs are good. I feel like it's just too much, right? First of all, you need a speed tuner. I hate characters that you have to do specific requirements just to make their thing work to that degree. And speed tuning can be such a pain in the ass, especially since some of these characters you're trying to raise the highest possible speed. Um, you know, maybe Baiba Lune is usually the culprit with Yukong, right? So maybe you want to do a slow version of him so you can build up your skill points. But guess what? We're getting Sparkle at some point soon. And you know, from the looks of it, skill points aren't going to be an option. You're going to be replacing Yukong with Sparkle as Zimbabwe Lune's partner, right? Boom, you're good to go. Because skill point regeneration essentially. But Yukong, yeah, you know what? It's just you putting you on the team. I feel like you do more, right? You get more value out of it. Last but not least, sustain. Characters who are capable of keeping the team alive with their abilities. Fu Xuan, huh? um, so all three of these I have, right? Fu Xuan, Hua, I can't pronounce her name. I used to call her Ho Ho. Look, man, I played Pokemon when I was younger, okay? Gen 2 for days. Um, and Luocha. Let's see. If you're talking about keeping your team alive, it's, in my opinion, right? I'm running Luocha or Huo more than Fushuan. Okay, for sure. I'd put Luocha on S tier, S plus tier, right? That's what I would do, right? It's a close match, and I feel like it's almost situational on which one would be S plus tier depending on the type of enemies you're facing, not the content, the type of enemy. And here's why, right? Fushuan definitely can keep your team alive a lot longer in shorter fights and when they're not doing AoE. All right, they're doing a massive AoE and it's a long fight. Your Fushuan is going to start running out of gas, most likely. Okay, you're not going to be able to get your ultimates off as much if they're hitting you guys with CC. Um, you're going to start running out of your own healing proc. Okay, you got AoE on that team. If you're not taking care of that, slowing them down, whatever, if they're just procking it one after another, you're gonna die. All right, I've ran into that situation a few times in Gears, right? Now in Memory Chaos, you probably aren't gonna run into that as much, this is what it's built for, understandably so. And it is a shorter fight, so I guess I can understand the argument of S plus, right? But there are situations where I'd rather have an energy regen ultimate on my team, okay, with a debuff, a cleanse, over Fushuan, right? Same thing with Luocha. Skill point management, free skill points, debuff on the enemy, cleanse if you use her skill and a heal. Creates the feel that I still would go with Luocha. Luocha is a better unit for me for Memory Chaos than Fushuan. I personally I don't run into the issue where I need Fushuan as much as I need Luocha, right? That's just my personal opinion. Okay, I definitely like Luocha better than Fushuan. Fushuan is good. Again, it's all situational between three, what enemies you're facing, and what they're doing to you. But I run Luocha and Ho more than Fushuan for sure. Lynx, yeah, I can see her A tier. I can definitely see her A tier. She definitely doesn't belong in S. She's good. She is very good, but not that good, you know. Um, her ultimate's cool. Her skill is good, except for the fact that you're adding aggro to it. That's where I feel like it loses a lot of its. It makes it more niche. Is adding aggro to your whoever you're healing directly. Um, that I don't care for. Her with Clara though, it's probably nasty, honestly. By the way, I don't have. I can see why she's down here though. That random healing is unreliable, man. It's so unreliable. I wouldn't want to put her over, any of these guys. Honestly, I don't. I would rather put Natasha than Bailu. I guess she has to revive too, but I actually would put Natasha over Bailu myself. Especially E6. Yeah, she's not healing as much, yeah, but she has her ultimate, which you can proc at any point. Yeah, no. Bailu, I feel like she'd almost go down to C tier. Yeah, I definitely, because the revive's cool, but I'm not running into a situation where I would need a revive that much. Even if I did, right? if you're already dying at that point, you're probably going to continue dying. You know what I mean? Like, unless it's like an inch away from death, you're killing the opponent, the enemy, in one shot or whatever. Most of the time, if you're dying, you're going to be dying anyways. Japard, B tier. Yeah, yeah, I can see it. I wish he had a different skill, right? I feel like that's where they fumbled him on him was his skill. Um, I feel like if they gave him a skill that just gave a mini shield or something like that to an ally, he'd be a lot better. His shields are massive though. God, all team shields are massive. But his skill definitely lowers his kit capabilities for sure. Um, yeah, man, no, he's still a good unit. I was using him for a while for the MOC. So March, I feel like, mm, here's the thing with March, right? Here's the thing. As a sustainer, yeah, see, for sure. Right? If you consider more the utility for kit, right? If you could get the freeze off a little bit more with her counterattacks, I feel like she'd be a little bit higher. Um, I feel like if her shield got buffed, yeah, she'd be at least B tier. But for how much her shield heals for, and it's only one person, right? Even with the counterattacks, unless you're running like damage reduction set with high defense, high HP, not crazy good, right? Definitely would do that. So Bailu and Natasha should switch, and yeah, no, that's the end of that. And just to take a quick look at Pure Fiction. I don't really go over it too much just because Pure Fiction is Pure Fiction. You're looking at erudition units, damage dealers, Argenti, Herta, for sure, easy. Himiko, yep, easy. All right. These two together outweighs him 100%. Right? You put these two together, you don't even need to worry about Argenti. Blade, yeah, he's good. Follow up attacks, nasty. Um, Clara, again, I don't have her, so I don't know how she works. Still don't care for him. I still don't care for him. That one weakness is way too big for me to overlook, man. Him getting CC'd and having that follow up go away. Nah. Jingliu, yep. Oh yeah, A tier. Yep, 100%. Sela, I haven't used her yet in Pure Fiction, so I don't know. Serval, Serval, I can definitely see. All right, you getting her ultimates off fast. It's just hitting the enemies, easy stuff. I feel like he'd be a little bit better. I feel like he should be an A. Barbiter. Again, though, you have to build that kit. Don't have her. Yeah, I agree with these single targets or just low damage output units. For sure, for sure. Specialist for this. Black Swan, I haven't actually used her in Pure Fiction, so I don't know how she performs yet. Um, but from what she can do, probably, yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Kafka, yeah, yep, and put these two together. Kafka and Black Swan, crazy, crazy. Quinifin, yep, debuff in the Jason Hidden, yep, sample. Yep, he has an AoE ultimate. Amazing to use, especially if you can do a DOT team. Fire Trailblazer. Haven't used them in it. But with the AoE attacking, okay, I can see that. And then you go into single targets. Yeah, if you haven't played Pure Fiction, if you're using single target units in Pure Fiction, you're not gonna have a good time. Ruame, oh, for sure. For sure, Ruame. It don't matter, man. Ruame all day, Bronya, yeah, I wouldn't really care for Bronya that much. Um, unless you're running her as the only support and you're running two DPSs. You're running like, I don't know, maybe these two, Herta and Himiko, and then you put a Bronya, and you don't have Ruan with you on your team on your roster, then yeah. Asta though, yeah, speed, uh, the multiple hits on skill for sure. Tingyun, yep, getting that ultimate up as fast as possible, damage increase, just blowing off the enemies. 1, 2, 3. Though again, Pela, I feel like Pela should be up there, man. Pela, how fast she can get her ultimate back with the defense shred, even though it's not gonna last on them that long. You're getting the ultimate back fast enough. Who cares? You know what I mean? Um, yep, and then single targets. And sustainers. Fushuan, I will say, Fushuan, yeah, I can see Fushuan being crazy in Pure Fiction. I have used her in Pure Fiction enough times. Her ultimate that hits everyone, amazing. Amazing. And it is a quicker, it's like Memory Chaos, it's quicker. You know what I mean? You're dealing with multiple enemies, but they're not all strong enemies. So you're not getting hit like that, you know? Um, Ho-Ho, yeah, NG regen, easy. Um, you are dealing with multiple enemies as well, so some of them might have a debuffing attack to hit your characters, knowing to deal with. Ultra, though, I feel like, yeah, you know what? That's fair. Ultra, yeah. His ultimate's multi-hit too. And that's the thing, though. His ultimate's multi-hit, and I still feel like he should go up, though. I feel like all three of these, right, units are so close together in this mode that it's worthwhile to put them up there. But you're not taking as much damage in Pure Fiction. And even if your team gets wiped in Pure Fiction, you still get the points. So I can see it. I can see it. And then, yeah, the other sustainers on the bottom. Yep. Because it's not as much about sustaining as you're trying to just deal as much damage as possible, especially AoE damage in Pure Fiction. So, yep, no, good tier list, good tier list. I definitely would change some stuff though. Um, but overall, I feel like, they understand the meta, okay? They understand what to look for in these modes, and definitely depends on the account, really comes down to it. But that's just my opinion, Your opinion might be different. Obviously, their opinion's different. At the end of the day, not everyone's gonna have all these characters anyways. So what it really comes down to is what you can build, all right, what you need to get through and where you're at in the game. But hey, this is a good list. I can respect this. Good job, Prydwen. Enjoyed it. Yeah, not bad, not bad. That's it for today, guys. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. In the meantime, you have yourself a great day. I'll catch you later.